morning West Coast, good afternoon East Coast, hello to everybody in between and outside. It's Ian the Off Kilter Crafter. Hope you're having a great day today. It is Sunday, Easter Sunday, so happy Easter to those who celebrate. For those who don't, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to everybody else, and that is okay. I apologize for the time change. I didn't announce it last week because I didn't even know about it. Becca basically said, hey, you're coming over for Easter lunch/dinner, so why don't you bump your live stream up, and then as soon as you're done, head over here. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. We're a little early today, so that way I can head over there and go visit her and her family and our friends and everybody. So that's why I'm a little bit early today, and I hope that's okay. But I hope you're all having a great day. We've got, let's see, who do we got in the chat today? Becky's here, Layla's here, Margot's here, Linda is here. Danielle, why can't I? The dyslexia drives me crazy sometimes. Shelly, Jonathan, Shirley, Michelle, thank you guys so much for being here. I hope everybody's having a great day. Catherine's here. Hi, middle of the night. If you know, you know. Yeah, we won't talk about that. We won't talk about that, Catherine. Oh, goodness. Yeah, hope everybody's having a great day. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Let's talk a little bit about this week. This week is going to be busy for me. I am going to be getting ready for my retreat this upcoming weekend. Hey, Josh, good to see you. Josh is in the chat. So I'm going to be getting ready for my retreat this weekend. So there's not going to be a live stream. Both Becca and I will not be live streaming this weekend. If I can get it out in time, I would love to have a video out for next Sunday, just to have something out there for y'all. I did record a video on how, like, the process of me putting the jacket together and my experience, kind of a vlog style more than a tutorial. It's not a tutorial. It definitely is not a tutorial, but it's more of like vlog style, what I, what was a pro, what was a con, did I have any flubs and stuff like that. So if I can get that edited before I head out to the retreat, then I'll have that on Sunday for y'all. If not, then there will just not be anything this week, and that is okay. That is okay. Thinking my name is Danielle. Okay, Danielle. Okay, anywho, thanks to Danielle. Thank you. See, I already forgot. Goodness. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you. So yeah, no live next Sunday. Hopefully we'll have out a video, but I also have to edit the podcast for this week as well. So yeah, is this an official live stream? We're just going to keep moving. And if you don't know anything about that, we're just going to keep moving on. All right. So anywho, yeah, so that's all of that. Is there anything else that I can think of? I don't think there's anything else that I need to talk about. Also, at the end of the month, there is actually one more thing. At the end of the month, I'm also going to be missing a live stream because I will be traveling. So I'm missing 2 live streams this month, and I would greatly appreciate it if maybe you could go back and watch one of the older live streams while I'm not live to help kind of make sure that my channel stays active in the algorithm and all of that. So it would greatly help me out even if you just put it up on the TV and walk away or something like that. Help keep my channel and everything still active in the algorithm. It's a very busy month, lots going on. Yeah. At retreat, I'm going to be working on the puzzle mystery quilt, Under the Sea. I have got to put that quilt top together. And hopefully I like the outcome of those batiks, but we will find out. So I'm going to be working on that. And don't forget, at the end of the month, it will be, I think it's the 24th, we have the live reveal for Under the Sea. So make sure that you are there. It's going to be a great time. It's always a great time. I dress up in costumes. I do lots of funny things. So join me over on the Cotton Cuts channel as they do the big reveal. And if you are wanting to get into Field of Dreamers, today is like the last day that you can do it. Officially, it is officially closed, but if you want to do that, they left it open a little bit, just a little bit. So if you want to get in on it, do it today. Do not wait, because after today, it's officially gone and you'll never get it again. So there's that. Cheryl is here and says, hello, Ian and everybody. Hello. Let's see. What what is that demented rodent on your shirt? This is Bucky's. This is the Bucky's logo. Had to put on my Easter Bucky's shirt. So, what are we working on today? Today we are working on the Diamond Daze quilt. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I found this pattern because I was sent some lovely Tula pink. This is from Fat Quarter Shop. This is the Modern Fat Quarter Club from May of 2025. And it's a whole bunch of Tula. It's a whole bunch of the Tula prints. What is the official collection? Full Moon Forest. So this is Full Moon Forest 2 from Tula. This is what they sent out. There are 12 fat quarters in this collection that they have curated. And so somebody sent this to me because they know that I love Tula, and I was like, I want to do something with it, but I'm not sure what. So I found this Diamond Daze pattern. This is a free pattern from Fat Quarter Shop. You can go onto their website. I think I put the link down in the description box. But here's the thing. This quilt needed, what was it, 64? Yeah, it needed 64 diamonds, and the requirements asked for half yards of the fabric. I did not have half yards, I had fat quarters. So obviously I could not create all 64 some odd diamonds. So I had to do some quilt math and shrink it down a little bit. So I am this, basically mine's going to be inspired by this free pattern, but it's going to be a little bit smaller and a little bit different. So if you want to take part in this pattern, you can go down into the description and download the free pattern over on Fat Quarter Shop. But know that mine's going to be a little bit smaller. It's probably going to be more of like a kid quilt. It's not going to be the full size. This one finishes at 42.5 by 60.5. Mine's, I don't know what mine's going to end up coming out to be, but it's going to be a little bit smaller. I was able to cut 4 diamonds out of every fat quarter, and that also gave me some triangles as well. So there are, I made rows. This is one of those quilts that you do on the diagonal, because you don't sew rows like up and down or side to side. You follow the diamonds this way, so you put them in diagonally. So I had enough of the triangles that I can do the triangles, and I have some left over. We're gonna work on something with those triangles after I get back. We'll continue the process of making accessories that match our quilt top. But as you can see, like there wasn't quite enough to make it the same exact size triangle. It's like on the edge, I'm missing a good quarter, maybe even closer to a ½ inch on the sides. So when I go to put this together, I am going to be it's going to be a little weird, and I'm going to have to crop it in a little bit when I actually cut the quilt. So goodness gracious, everybody is chatting with me today. So let's just put that on total do not disturb. So that way nobody is bugging me today. There we go. All right. So we're going to work on that today. And I hope everybody's having a great day. What are you doing today? How's everybody doing, and what are you doing today? Actually, I still need that because I have to keep the labels on my rows so that way I know which row is which. Put that over there. There we go. All right, so oh, that was the other thing I forgot. One of the other things I wanted to talk about is what I used to cut everything out with. I used the Super Sidekick. Oh, look, you can put it, if I put it right there, you can see it. If I put it in front of my face, you can definitely see it. Looks like I got a tattoo on my forehead there. So this is a Super Sidekick ruler. This is from Jaybird Quilts. I use this for my gravity quilt. And this is what I use to create all the diamonds. It's very helpful because it does allow you to trim off the triangles and give you a flat side, so that way you can place it more easily onto where it needs to go, and you don't have to worry about matching up that 1/4 inch. Because whenever you're working with diamonds, it can be kind of hard because you don't just line it up corner to corner. You have to do it as a 1/4 inch in, right? So that way it works. So anywho, Tiny Talky Tina Let's try saying that 5 times fast. Says, love your shirt. I'm sewing Easter baskets and fabric eggs. Awesome. Very cool. I was asked to go to family dinner, but I also don't. But I want to go, but I also don't. I understand that. Totally understand. Def Diablo says, just waking up. I was working on the legendary quilt pattern by Elizabeth Hartman. I made the Bigfoot block and called it a night. That sounds like a good idea. Oh gosh, all the powders down at the bottom. I just spat water on my tabletop, so I'm going to take a scrap piece of fabric and dry that up really quick. I don't even have paper towels in here. I need to get paper towels in here. That's what I need to do. Watching you till I have to get ready to go to my mom's 92nd birthday. Happy birthday to your mom, Judy. Jonathan is assembling rows for a Quilty Architect quilt with a dumb name, sorry Matthew, that I don't even know how to quilt when it is finished. Well, I'm sure you'll come up with something. I'm sure you will come up with something perfect. Oh my gosh, we're going to start that off already. My machine's already fighting with me. It's already saying the top thread is out, and it's not. So as soon as I finish this, we'll redo that thread. So that way it doesn't do that. Need to heat up my iron. Laura says, hello Ian and chat, working on actually quilting my quilt and really wanting to start piecing my second one. Awesome. Becca got her long arm serviced, so it is all working out wonderfully. I need to get back over there because I need to work on the Lady Gaga quilt and get that one ready for, I want to try and enter that one into North Texas if I can. So want to work on that. And I just spit water like really everywhere. Oh my gosh, I'm just seeing, it's all over my machine, it's all over my hand, it's all over the place. All over the place. It was really sour because I used those flavor packets, and apparently I didn't stir it well enough, and so like all of the flavor is apparently at the bottom. Whew, very strong. I'm starting to hate this quilt. Oh no, Jonathan, I hate when that happens. Gloria says, right now I'm watching you, no plans beyond that. That's fair, Gloria. That is fair. Let's see. Yeah, it is warm. All right, so we'll just go ahead and press. So I'll show you what I'm talking about here. First of all, how freaking amazing did this, as I drop it on the floor, I'm just not having a good day, am I? Look how amazing it, like this triangle ended up. It ended up perfect, but as you can see, there's a little bit of, like, it's a little mismatched here at the top. It doesn't go all the way to the top. All I'm gonna have to do is, I'll probably quilt it like this, and then when I'm ready to square up the quilt, I'll just chop off that very top part, so that way it's even. Sourdough bread. I think finishing up some lunch, wrapping up sourdough bread that I managed to bake. Awesome, that sounds really yummy, Josh. All right, so this is row one. Row one is super easy, just literally 2 pieces. Hi Ian and all on this rainy day. It is rainy here too. It's about 70 degrees and it is rainy here in the DC area. I know, right? Sandy says, nice fussy cut. It wasn't even intentional. It just ended up that way. And I was like, oh, how perfect is this? And it was perfect. It was perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. Is my machine going to behave now? Let's find out. seems to be a little more well behaved. Thank goodness. I laid all this out on the floor. I tried to create the random pattern, and I hate how random, for me, I like need as much control as possible. So even a random pattern isn't really all that random. It's not all that random. It's perfect because you are in tune with Tula, says Kathy, right? Wouldn't that be wonderful if that was the truth? She's got that new exhibit at the National Quilt Museum. Would love to go see it. Ain't no way that's going to happen, but seen some pictures from it. It looks beautiful. So again, you're putting this together diagonally. So I have my next piece, and I'm going to be attaching it on this side. So if you can see here on the camera, I take my 2 diamonds, I match them up just like that. I think I do this way. Let's find out. We're going to put this together and we're going to find out. I may have to do that scooching in 1/4 of an inch thing. Let's find out. I think if I remember, I may actually have to do that. I think I'm supposed to do that actually. Shoot. And I'll show you why. I'll show you why it doesn't work the way, yeah, I think I am supposed to trim this. Yep, that's, I totally did not do this yesterday. Let me show you before I seam rip it what I'm talking about. Okay, so for this one, you know, it had that flat side down there, so that way I could easily just line these two up. If you don't do that, do you see how far off these two are? Like it is way over here and way out here. You're supposed to trim, and I didn't even think about that when I was putting it together, because I'm like, oh, this is the ruler that you don't like, it does it for you. Well, no, you still have to add that little notch in there, and Ian forgot. So we'll just seam rip it. We'll just trim it. It's not a big deal. I'll stack this right here. I'll stack this back here. And I'll grab my ruler tool. And I don't know where my rotary cutter got off to. I think I left it in the other room. So I thankfully have my little one down here. So I think I can still do that. I hide beers for my husband to find. Savannah, that's hilarious. Did you starch those? I did. I did starch them. So they're nice and stiff. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler and I just line it up. Just line it up. What is... There we go. Okay. I just line it up and I'm going to take... I know like y'all can't see any of this at all, and I'm sorry. One day I will have a overhead cam that I can show stuff again. I miss having my overhead cam when I was doing all of my things. Whoops. That slid. So I just chopped the very tippy top of it off. And we're going to do the same thing onto this one. I just got to line it up the right way. We're going to have to do all of that today because I didn't do it yesterday. I was a silly and totally didn't even think about, hey Ian, you need to chop it off. Right there. That one doesn't matter because it's the top one, so. Oops. That's what you said. All right, so let's try this again now. What's the Tula Pink? This is the Full Moon Forest. It is the Celebration Fabric 50 collections that Tula has put out there. All right, so this is going to work so much better now because I have those trimmed off corners. Now I can actually line it up the way I'm supposed to, and we'll resew. We'll resew it. But that also means now I have to take time to trim every single one of them as we're working today. Sorry, folks. It is what it is. I'm actually getting a better 1/4 of an inch because I see where the previous holes were. And apparently I was a little bit off as I was sewing for some reason. Probably a little bit of stretch. So Catherine, I did use starch on these. I used these. I used the what is that spray that Becca was talking about the other day on the live stream on Friday? She was talking about she's talking about, I don't remember which one it is. I don't remember the name of it, but I tried it and I like it. It is very good. Lifting and stitching. Josh says diamond piecing. Last time I did it. I had so many registration marks and pinning to make everything line up. That is why I like to use the Super Sidekick, and if I had remembered to actually cut off the point, it would have been a lot faster today. But Ian forgot to do, he forgot the point. He forgot the point. So he's got to do that now. And why he's talking about himself in the third person, he will never know. And it's such a little thing too, like literally it's just a little, just the tip, and it still makes a big difference. It makes a really big difference. Faultless, that's what it was. Thank you, Auntie L. Faultless. What's on the back of your shirt? It's the Buc-ee's stuff. I don't know if you can see that or not because I can't see my monitor, so I don't know if y'all are seeing that or not, but it's the Buc-ee's logo and stuff. So yeah, I used the Faultless spray and it was lovely. I really like it a lot. I think I need to do a video on the different types of sprays and starches and things that are on the market and which ones I prefer. I feel like that would make for a good video, don't y'all? What is your preferred starch or spray or whatever? At retreat last year, I was given this jar. I haven't used it yet, but it is Quilter's Moonshine. She even did this like little label for Quilter's Moonshine. So it is a, ooh, I need to mix it up. As you can see, I haven't used it. I haven't touched it. But it is a homemade concoction spray starch, basically. Catherine says a video on spray starch or all of that would make for a great video. So nothing. Love Lovingly cannot stand starch. That's fair. Becca is actually the one who turned me on to using Best Press because but prior to it, I was never using it, but now I can't live without it. Tina says when you do a video on, let's see, when you do the starch video, do some in the washer and dryer so we can see that there is a difference. Good idea. I haven't used either and would rather not. Laura says that is also fair. Oh, and that's the end of my row. So that's all I have to do for row 2. Working on a Bumble Quilt using colors from Tula Pink. Awesome. Best press all the way, says Flicky Chicky. Magic Quilting and Craft Spray. Is that the name of the Is that the same one that Kimberly Jolly from Fat Quarter Shop uses? Def Diablo, which one are you referring to? Sorry, I'm trying to there's multiple things happening all at once. So I'm trying to figure out if you're talking about the Super Sidekick Ruler or if you're talking about Spray Starch or what. What you talking about, Willis? The Quilting Doctor says everything is easier to work with when it's stiff. You're welcome. Kathy says, I love starch. Tina says, homemade is the best. I'm wondering if they meant homemade is the best. I'm wondering if the Quilting Doctor, who said everything is easier to work with when it's stiff, is also talking, if Tina is also the same wavelength with them and saying whole made is the best. That joke, there was too much explaining in that joke. That didn't work. That didn't work at all. Did not work at all. Oh, Kimberly Jolly uses Faultless. Oh, okay, good to know. I did not know. Well, I like Faultless so far. That's what I used on these fabrics, and it was wonderful. And I'm going to be using that. I've been working on my Alaska project, and I'll be using that because some of the pieces are really wrinkled. So I need to work on unwrinkling them. Tina says homemade is the best. I figured that's what she probably meant to say, but autocorrect got the best of her, as it always tends to do. Autocorrect always seems to get the best of me, and I just never seem to get my words out correct. This is going to be a super cute quilt. It is going to be a small quilt. It's not going to be very big. Like I said, it's just going to be like kid-sized, but I think this is going to be a perfect quilt for a niece or a nephew, or niece probably. It's got a little more feminine colors, although gender colors are just a made-up construct. They're not real. So it could go for either a niece or a nephew. Why are you doing this to me again? I rethreaded you already. You're being futzy. On Beyonce's internet, you are being super fussy today, good ma'am. I know, Jonathan, that I can just turn off autocorrect. However, autocorrect saves me more than it hinders me. So, yeah, I'm going to go with it. Jackie says, I'm going to try it. I've used some Staflo for years, but it's discontinued now. I have enough left for a couple more spray bottles. I need a replacement before I totally run out. I would recommend checking out the Faultless. Check it out. See if you like it. Let's see. I don't like the homemade versions because the smell is awful. Ugh, this autocorrect is making me crazy. Block should be work. Block should be work. Time to clean the machine for Easter, right? When my machine acts like that, wait, what? Savannah says, when my machine acts like that, it gets called a lint licker. Oh my goodness. I had to read that twice. Goodness gracious. Should I be pressing this the other way? Maybe I should be pressing some of these the other way so that way the seams nest when I go to put them together. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Oh, you're early today. Happy Sunday. Yeah, Chris, I had to go early today because Becca invited me over to their soiree that's happening over at their house. So I have to go a little bit early today so that way I could attend their soiree. Okay, so that one doesn't matter because there's so few seams on that one. What about this one? If I do it over here, I'm literally thinking on the fly here as I'm putting everything together. So that one goes up, that one also goes up. So yeah, I should, row 2, I actually need to iron the other way so that way I can get some nested seams going on. That's what should happen. Yeah, so we're gonna take row 2 and I'm actually gonna press it the opposite direction from the direction that I originally pressed everything in. And actually, you know what? Let's grab some of that faultless. I have it right over here, sitting in the corner. And since we're not going to be doing a whole bunch, I'm in a confined space, so I'm just going to use a little bit of it. We're not going to use a whole bunch, just a little bit to get this to... Oh, wow, that works so well. Again, I'm in a confined space. Wow. Wow, that really works well. That seam had no chance. So what I'm saying wow to is the fact that I futzed up my seam a little bit because as I was working on it, getting it to go the other direction, it kind of bent the fabric back in a weird way and it was like not happy with me. But a little bit of that faultless and bam, it is good to go. You don't need very much, you just need a little spray. Just need a little spray of it. All right, flip that over and press from the front. And there we go. Okay, I'm becoming a big fan of this faultless. Like, I'm really starting to... I don't know what magic is in that can, but wow. 3 ads coming in. What? Ads should be off at the moment. I should have control over them, but, you know, YouTube does YouTube, and it's like, whatever. Let's see. Let's see. I use faultless. I buy at Canadian Tire? What? Canadian Tire? What are you talking about? They have it at a car shop? What? I'm confused. Somebody please tell me about starching in the washer dryer. Shirley is asking about starching in the washer dryer. I've heard some people say that you can do it in the washing machine. I've never done that, so I have no idea. Why are you using faultless? Because Becca wanted me to try it. She was like, hey, I'm really liking the results that I'm getting here, so give this a try. And so I said, okay. The Alaska project is very stiff because she and I did the Staflow method of starch because we're doing a Bargello. We want it to be really stiff. It's like as thick as cardboard with the Staflow and all that. So that's why we're using the faultless, because she was like, oh my God, our projects were stiff and it was getting hard to get the wrinkles out of this very stiff material. And so she heard about this stuff and tried it. She was like, you've got to try it. You've got to use it. So that's why. That is why. Does the Alaska project have to be Starch? No, it does not, Kelly. It absolutely does not. Becca and I we did it because we wanted to try it out on this and give y'all another method, you know, if you want to try it, but it does not have to be starched. Does it cause any issues with the quilting? Def Diablo, not that I know of so far. It doesn't seem to be, I haven't like actually quilted the quilt yet, obviously, but so far, just regular sewing and everything else has not had an issue. I'm way over on that. I need to try that again. Ian, according to my cousin in Orlando, Canadian Tire is similar to Walmart. Oh, okay. I was like very confused on that. I was like, why is this sold at a car parts place? Like, I was thinking like the AutoZone or the, you know, whatever. So that would make sense. That would make sense. Canadian Tire, similar to Walmart. Makes sense. I understand now. I understand now. Let's see. Just thinking it's going to be a challenge as packing all of our supplies. I get it, Kelly. I get it. Let's see. Layla says, I think insects are the biggest problem with starch. It's food for them. Good to know. So probably don't store this. Don't store projects with starch for long periods of time, or if you do, put them in airtight containers or something like that. Is that what I'm hearing, Layla? I feel like that's... let's see. Jackie says, I've been getting ads too. I pay for the ad free, guessing it's a system glitch. Ooh, that's weird. That's weird that you pay for YouTube and you're not supposed to get ads, but you are. Very strange. Very, very strange. Should have done this yesterday. I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't, but you know, hey. Y'all don't mind the extra 2 seconds, right? That in my lap so that way it is easier to manage. Boop a doop boop a doop a doop boop 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 boop. Yeah, that's why I don't starch. I'm pretty much incapable of finishing projects and don't want to deal with the bugs ruining them. That's fair. That's fair. I've heard if you put, what is that soap called? Ivory, spring ivory. What is the name of that soap? I hear if you put that soap, whatever its name is, in containers, that it helps to protect it from rodents and bugs and all that kind of stuff. Ivory spring? I don't remember. Y'all are going to tell me and I'm going to be like, that's it. That's it. Irish Spring, there it is. See, I knew. As soon as somebody put it on the screen, I was going to remember what the name of it was. Wash out the starch before storing, says Layla. Yeah, probably a good idea to wash it. How do you keep your rows from getting wonky when you sew on the diagonal like that? So it's all about making sure to line up. So that's why I'm going back and I'm cutting those notches off, because those notches will help you line everything up correctly, right? Like it really helps to kind of keep this all in sync with each other. So there is going to be a bit of bias stretch to it. I'm dealing with it now as I'm sewing this together. I'm seeing it like try to bend and snap. It's trying to bend a little bit and morph, and I'm just trying to be as gentle as I can. Again, the starch is helping to try and keep... Okay, now you're really pissing me off, sir, madam, whatever you are, non-binary. You're pissing me off. We're gonna have to do a reboot on you because you are... this is now the third time I've rethreaded. So we're gonna do a restart on my machine because it is pissing me off, and I don't know why. It's saying that it's out of thread. So we're gonna do a reboot. We're just gonna turn it off for a little bit. Just gonna go sleep for a moment. Kimberly Jolly drenches her fabric in Faultless, including the backing. Most of her quilts are never washed and only displayed. She's never indicated any issues with bugs. Or use a starch alternative like Best Press. It wouldn't be ivory soap, as that is good to use for fleas on shampooing a dog. Well, yeah, I think it is. I think it is Irish Spring. Oh, right. I said ivory, and okay, it's Irish. Never mind. I got it, Kelly. I got you, Kelly. All right, so this is row 3. Da, 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 da. Right? It's kind of bad when you have to put your sewing machine in timeout, right? I am going to rethread it again, and hopefully... Machine has been licking. It's because you spit it, right? Exactly. That is exactly what it is. It's because I spit on it that it's upset with me. I didn't mean to. The water just kind of flew everywhere. All right, let's rethread again. And I'm also going to rethread the bobbin as well, because maybe, you know, something's going on with the bobbin. Oh, that's funny, Tabitha. Tabitha, you are right. Tabitha says your machine is actually binary since it's computerized. That is... Good point. Good point. I just try to be inclusive, you know. Don't want to not be inclusive, so we're going to rethread everything. There we go. And it goes up there. That goes in there. All because I accidentally spit on it. Pardon me. All right, start in on row 4. And with row 4, we're going to be sewing we're going to be pressing it the opposite direction that I've just been pressing in. So got to remember to do that. All right, let's cross our fingers, everyone, that the machine is good to go. Seems to be doing better. Knock wood. There we go. Bobby says, it's funny that y'all are going to retreat next weekend. I am too. Well, I don't think we're going to the same retreat. If it is the same retreat, that would be interesting, because I don't think you're going to be there, but who knows, right? No, I know we're going to 2 separate retreats, but it is funny that we're going to be on retreat next weekend at the same time. Right, not the same one, exactly. Exactly. Is that right? Yeah, okay. Yep. I'm right. I was like looking at my ruler going, wait, is this right? It is. It is right. Yeah, I have several projects that I need to work on. I've got the Alaska project I need to work on. I don't know if it's going to happen there, though. But I got the Alaska to work on. I've got the Puzzle Mystery Quilt to work on. I actually have the current Puzzle Mystery Quilt, Field of Dreamers. Got that one to work on. Mine is here in Alaska. Yeah, we're definitely not going to be at the same one then. Definitely not going to be at the same one. But yeah, should be fun. I will be at the sewing retreat in Alaska in August, but not probably won't see you at that one either. I've got to work on packing everything up. I had to wait until my live stream was over today in order to do all the packing that I need to do. That will start tonight. Shirley in Alaska says hers was the last weekend. She went to one last weekend. Awesome. Did you have fun at your retreat? What projects did you work on? I mean, look how fun these colors are going together. They're really, I mean, it's a perfect collection of fabrics. Love Loathing. I'm definitely waiting on Field of Dreamers since the first couple of clues have spinning stars. I need to see the results first to decide if I want to adjust. Haha, fair enough. What are you going to adjust? I'm curious to hear what you're wanting to adjust. Had lots of fun. I did the patriotic quilt to give to my husband's nephew. That's awesome. Sounds like a good time. I am not awake today. No, unfortunately, I can't justify cost of the cruise at the moment. I get it, Shirley. I get it. Did I do the right way? Yes. Okay, everything's going the right way at the moment. Perfect. I was worried that I had flubbed up the pressing because I'm trying to go the opposite way so that way I can nest my seams when I'm putting this together. Lovely says, I have no idea, but I usually like pinwheels and spinning stars. I've seen some quilts with them that I like and are okay, but I bought 2 Field of Dreamers. I can play around a bit. Maybe that is true. You could always play around. So you could do one the regular way and then play around with one however you want to. I haven't even started on Field of Dreamers, whatever it is yet, because I've just been so busy with all the other things that need to get done that I've just not had the chance to work on any clues yet, which is why I'm taking them to retreat with me, and they're going to be priority number 2 for me. Priority number 1 is Under the Sea. That's got to get done for the big reveal. So I've got to get that one worked on first. And then my Field of Dreamers will be the next one, priority number 2 for me to work on. And then priority number 3 is going to be the Alaska project. I don't know if I'm going to take it or not. It is a lot. Like, I'm making mine bigger, so it's not going to be the size that we're going to be teaching in class. It's a little bit bigger. But I don't know if I want to take that mess with me or not. So we'll see. We'll see what I end up doing. Look how cute this little kitty is. Just hanging out there. Now, unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit sideways because it's going to be like this whenever it goes into the actual quilt. So kitty's going to be at an angle, but it's still cute. Shirley in Alaska says, I'm working on a small Field of Dreamers in the Tula Greyworks fabric. I'm not loving it. I'm hoping it'll look good when it's all put together. Shirley, I almost guarantee you, when you put the whole thing together, that you're going to be happy with it. I have seen several quilts come together that I wasn't thrilled with. So like my Juicy Juice, the trees, what's the tree one called? What was the name of that one? Anyways, it was the Juicy Juice fabric, and I do love Juicy Juice fabric, but as I was putting the clues together, it was looking a lot like, it was looking like a lot, and I was not terribly thrilled with it when I was putting the clues together. But when I put the final clue together, clue 10, and I put it all together, it like made it. It suddenly came together, and I was like, oh, it's so awesome. Like, something about that last clue and putting all the pieces together just makes it. Just absolutely makes it. So I bet you by the time you get to clue 10 and put it together, you'll be happy with it. I don't know that, but it seems to be a frequent occurrence where people will post in the Facebook group going, oh, I hated my clues until I put it together and suddenly I love it. Tree of Life, thank you. Appreciate that. I knew it was tree something, but I couldn't even remember. Savannah says, I went with a large illusion for Field of Dreamers. It's a lot more white than I would prefer, but it's going to be beautiful. I knew it was tree something, and I don't know why I couldn't think of Tree of Life, but here we are. I've not started Field of Dreamers, but only have 9 clues for Under the Sea. Yeah, we haven't gotten the big reveal. Big reveal comes next month. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, we're at clue 9 for Under the Sea. I have seen the final layout. I do have clue 10, so that way obviously I could put together my clue. And it looks really awesome. I'm loving it. And I can't wait to see all the colorways when they come together. Looking for different guesses in the page. There are some really cool options. I really want to see the different things others do with them if I like them better. I need to go visit that page again. I haven't been there in a hot second. So need to go back and look at what people are guessing. If you didn't know it, there is a Facebook group for making guesses as to what the final puzzle mystery quilt looks like. I'm going to take full credit for all the guesses that are happening because nobody really, like a few people guessed, but I feel like I really set the trend of people guessing. So pat myself on the back for that one. Were you able to guess? I was not. I didn't. I just haven't had the time to. I've been working on so many other things. I just didn't have the time to guess it, unfortunately, this time. But that's okay. Working on a lot of other projects and things, so had to kind of had to just be okay with not guessing this time. Love the League says there are only a couple guesses so far. I can't be too sad though because I haven't even started mine. Yeah, exactly. Working on the small Phoenix and I'm not sure that I love it either. Phoenix was, I thought Phoenix was Flyway. I believe Phoenix was Flyway. Now there is a similar colorway, which I think is Triton. My colorway in this one, right? Because Triton reminds me very much of Phoenix from last time. Very similar. Bobby says, I loved the Phoenix once I had it all together. See, excuse me, there's so many times that people are like, oh, I don't like my colors. And then they put it together and they're like, oh, actually I do. Who knows? That may happen with me and Triton. Like, I'm not thrilled with my Triton colors. Y'all know that. But maybe once I get it all put together, I'll be like, oh, I see it. I see it. You know, you just never know. Just never know. 1 p.m. Eastern Time, on the dot. It was similar to Triton. Yeah, exactly. Like the Phoenix colorway is very similar to Triton from this go round. I have Marina, so I'm excited to see it. Lovingly says. There have been a few colorways in the past PMQs that I was like, oh, I love it, but then I would have never picked it. Exactly. I have definitely seen several colorways that I never would have gotten. The one that Becca had for Flyway, I wouldn't have picked that one. Like if I had a choice, which I kind of did in choosing which colorway I wanted to do, I would not have picked that one. But after seeing Becca's, I was like, oh, I like it. I should have picked that one. Joan says, hi Ian and everybody in chat. I forgot you were early today. Happy Easter, everyone. Yep, I'm early today. Kathy says, Ian, are you leaving work behind today when y'all have afternoon lunch? Or are you sneaking off to go sew? I'm going to be just enjoying time with friends and everybody. There probably won't be any sewing or anything happening while I'm hanging out with Becca and our friends. Yeah, probably leave everything over here. Savannah says, my youngest chose Sterling, and it turned out to be my favorite of the fly. See, exactly. I love Sterling. Sterling came out beautifully. Really, I kind of want to steal Becca's quilt because it's really, really pretty. By the way, I'll show you the next row so that way you can see. Like, look how awesome. I know this is all from the same collection, so obviously all the fabrics should obviously work together. But I mean, just look how cool this collection looks together. It's very spring colorway for sure. So that's what we're going with. I got Lullaby. Lovely says, I got love. I got Lullaby and Illusion for Field of Dreamers, and and was super torn because I liked Pink Moon as well, but the more I see of Pink Moon, the more I don't like it now. You never know. I love Under the Sea Oasis. I wish I had gotten it. See, I hate when we get to that part where you're like, oh man, I wish I had gotten XYZ. Oh, you know what other project I'm going to take with me? It's sitting down here in the bucket still. I have all of those half square triangles that I sewed on live stream last time for the state fair. So I should probably take that with me and work on that, because that needs to get done sooner rather than later for the dog quilt. So here's all my, I'm just literally going to take this bucket of, where's the camera? There's the camera. See, I'm just going to take this bucket and work on that while I'm at the retreat, I feel like. All right, guys, we're about halfway through the live stream. I want to click the button for a quick little ad break, and it's not working. Never mind. I was going to send y'all the commercial, but it gave me a no. Computer says no. Computer says no. Alrighty then. Really want to see Glimmer, says Megs, in Field of Dreams. I chickened out with the beautiful bright reds, orange, and yellow. Shirley says my quilt is going to be beautiful. Thank you, Shirley. I think it's going to be pretty awesome as well. Which colorway is Oasis? I don't remember. I don't remember, unfortunately. Bobby, I'm sure that person who has Oasis will let us know. Who was that? Deanna. Deanna has Oasis. So hopefully Deanna will tell us momentarily what are the main color themes. Yep, so this one is going to go this way. Sorry, my Aliso got caught up. It got caught up. The cord got caught up. Did you know, by the way, I don't know if you know this or not. Did you know, this is a hot iron, so I have to be really careful doing this. Okay, on these Aliso M3 Pro irons, if you are left-handed and you don't like the cord coming out the left side, you can pop off this. I have to be super careful because this is a hot iron. You can pop off the little screws in this green. Do you see this teal section right here? In this teal section, you can pop off those screws and reverse the cord to go the other way. So if you're left-handed, you can flip it around. Just little tip for you. I did not know that until my contact at Aliso was like, oh yeah, you just pop off the screws and you can flip it. And I'm like, wait, what? So if you're left-handed and want a left-handed iron, all you have to do, pop out the screws, flip the cord, and boom. Boom shakalaka. Let's see. Bobby says, what are you thinking about, or excuse me, actually, Catherine says, what are you thinking about for the backing for this one? I have no idea. I'm definitely not even close to that point yet. So I have no idea what I'm going to do. That's the wrong way. I almost did that the wrong way. Almost did that the wrong way. Oasis. Sorry, Bobby says, I got Marina for Under the Sea and picked the blue turtle fabric for the backing. I think it's going to be very cool together. That is going to be awesome. Deanna says, blue and greens with a little cream. I didn't get it, but I sure wish I did. And Love Lillingly says, Oasis was Anna of Green Gables, I think. Blues and greens with a bit of traditional. I'm going to have to put my machine into get serviced somewhat soon. Obviously, I'm going to take it to retreat, and I'll need it at retreat. Maybe I'll take it at the end of the month to get serviced while I am on vacation. Katie says, I have shipwrecked, and I'm excited to see how it comes out. Still loving the colors. Can't wait to see that one, Katie. I can't wait to see all the colorways, honestly. Like, that is always the fun of the big reveal, is getting to see how all the colorways came out. Banana Joe is back. Welcome back. Didn't know you were gone. Could not send messages. Oh, no. Shakes fist at YouTube. And YouTube just sneers and moves on. That's what happens. YouTube is like, meh. It looks like Shirley in Alaska loves Shipwreck as well. Got a mess. Do. So it does, this fabric does, you know, you're sewing on a bias. It is going to be a little stretchy, a little, you know, wonky. I tried to get it, you know, as stiff as possible with that faultless spray to help, you know, make sure that it stays as best as possible, but it's just going to be wonky a little bit. It's just going to be wonky, and it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it. Guys, I do want to let y'all know I am actively working on getting a retreat put together that is a land-based retreat. It would be me and one of my best friends that would be teaching at this retreat. Let's see, Banana Joe says, Ian, why are you on so early? So it is Easter here in the United States. Is it around the world as well? I don't remember. I can't remember world religion and like if the world celebrates. I think they do. Anywho, not all the cultures, but some of them do. Anywho, I'm babbling on. Long story short, Becca told me that I am to attend her soiree that is happening at her house and our friends. So instead of going, and it starts at 2, so you know that would be at the same time that I'm live. So I decided to bump my live stream up so that way I could go attend her soiree today. By the way, oh, I already read that one. Love Loathingly, definitely interested in a land-based retreat. Well, that is on the docket. I'm finishing up the paperwork. That's one of the things I have to do before the weekend is over, is I need to read over the paperwork and make sure everything is good to go. But it'll be me, one of my best friends, and should be a good time. Very excited. Everywhere or mostly, yeah, that's what I thought. Splitting yourself into 2, man, Banana Joe, if I could do that, that would be get so much more done. So much more done. It is it is Easter everywhere except for Greece. Obviously, I don't 100% keep up with all that. So I couldn't remember. Because, you know, Americans have some holidays and other countries do not. Catherine says, say Leo, say Leo, say Leo. Is the land-based retreat going to be south or east? It will be south. Southeast, actually. Well, I would like the second me to take the knee pain. Fair enough, Banana Joe. Very fair. Very fair. Let's see. Tell your travel guy. Layla says, tell your travel guys, RGE, to book land retreats at the Omni Homestead Resort in Hot Springs, VA. I will tell them about that. Yes, Easter is always the Sunday after the spring equinox. Exactly. Exactly. Shirley, I will neither confirm nor deny that that is the case. Will neither confirm nor deny that that is the case. And I will neither confirm nor deny that the person who will be teaching with me is in the chat, possibly in the chat. I don't know if they are in the chat or not. I don't know if they are or not. A lot of times they're lurking in the chat, so I never know if they're here or not. They like to lurk in the chat, and I never know if they're here or not. It is not going to be February. It will not be February. Jonathan says, we haven't talked about it, so I guess I'm not your best friend. I have many best friends, Jonathan. Lovingly says, I might be able to make it. We'll see. Jonathan, I didn't know that you're a teacher. As long as it's not July through August, which it will not be. It will not be July through August, because those are the hottest months in this location. It is the hottest months in this location, so no. No, no, absolutely not. Do you, Jonathan? I didn't know that. I didn't know that you taught at the shop. That's pretty cool. Did not realize that. Okay, I got who it is. Do you? Do you know who it is? Do you know who it is? Are you sure? Def Diablo says, I'm a teacher, an elementary school teacher. Well, you are a teacher, but not a quilting teacher. I think I have an idea of who's teaching. Who do you think it's going to be? I will neither confirm nor deny, but who do you think it's going to be, Bobby? And Banana Joe says she thinks she's got it. Tabitha says, if you did one at a famous retreat center in the Midwest, I might be able to attend. Also, it's about 15 minutes from where Tula lives. Let's see. Layla says, a winter giveaway. Are we going back to Texas? I don't know. I don't know. Possibly. It is possible. It is in the realm of possibility. I teach beginning sewing course and some project-based apparel and quilting classes. Awesome. I did not know that, Josh. Josh, oh gosh. Jonathan, sorry. Jonathan, I did not know that. Well, we do know that Josh is in the chat right now. At least Josh was in the chat. I don't know if... Layla says, I'll be there. Layla, we'll see. So far, somebody's made a guess as to who they think is going to be there. Josh is in the chat, so I mean, that would make sense. That would make sense. But is it the right guess? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Is Josh still in the chat? I don't know. I'm saying his name several times and he hasn't come back. So he may be in a bread coma after eating all of that sourdough. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. I am a pattern making teachers. Awesome. Fashion. Very cool. Is it in California or with Chris? Layla is asking. Layla says in or California with Chris. Shirley says, have a great rest of your day, everyone. I'm going to deep clean my sewing area. Have fun. Keep me on in the background. All right, so I need to... Okay, so that doesn't quite... Yeah, I need to make sure. So what's happening here is I'm making sure that I'm lining everything up correctly because I need to, it needs to be this corner. Because remember, these triangles were cut a little short. Yeah, that's the way it needs to be, I feel like. These triangles were cut a little short, so I have to make sure that I'm sewing it on the right correct corner, because otherwise I'll end up with like a hole in my quilt, and I don't want to do that. So I'm making sure that I'm choosing the right one. You'll be on the TV. Bye, Ian. All right, see you later. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll have to get all my stuff to make dress patterns to get some practice in. It's been a while. That's awesome. Oh, that's okie dokie. All right, so we've been guessing like who y'all think it might be. What is the where? Where do you think it's going to be? Where do you think it's going to be? Whoops. Flip that up. There we go. Perfect. Okay, I did it on the right corner, so that's good. So here is my next row. Ooh, some guesses are popping into the chat. Look at that. Look how cool that is. I can't even fit it in the whole frame. This is like one of my longer rows. Seeing some guesses popping up in the chat. Up in here, up in here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, I'm definitely gonna have to trim it in a little bit, but that's okay. I'll have to trim it up a little bit whenever I finish quilting it because it's gonna have a little bit of some weird lines on it, but that's all right. Huh. Interesting guesses. Interesting guesses. Y'all are putting some guesses in that I would not have expected from the clues that I've given so far. It's turning out well, Banana Joe. I'm really liking how this one's turning out. And again, this was just fat quarters. This is all just fat quarters. So it is going to be smaller than the full-sized quilt project that I've linked to in the description of this video. So it's not going to be the full size. I wish it was because these are some really beautiful fabrics, but that's okay. Not a big deal. All right, so this needs to go this way now. I need to go the other direction because again, when I go to sew this quilt together, I'm going to nest these seams. So that's why I am going back and forth with my seam pressing to make sure that I, you know, get us the way we need to be. Like I said, I wish I trimmed off these corners yesterday, but I just didn't think about that. It's been a long time since I've used this ruler, and I totally forgot I should have trimmed off this area. Oh well. Catherine, I can't retell you the clues. Can't tell you the clues, but I'm sure somebody in chat will be able to clue you in. Gotta be paying attention. Gotta pay attention on the live stream. Wait. Is this the right way? I better check and make sure that this is the right way before I start sewing, because this feels wrong. It is right. No, I had it the right way. It just felt wrong. But I would rather check and make sure. Rather be safe than sorry, right? Layla says, when I think of Ian and retreats, I think of Texas or Florida. I mean, it would make sense for you to think of Texas, because, you know, that's where I'm from. Another clue I gave, somebody put one clue in the chat. Another clue I gave was the person I'm teaching with. A lot of times is in this chat. A lot of times is in this chat. I don't know if they're in the chat today at this moment. But you never know. You never know with me. I'm full of surprises. I'm full of surprises. You just never know. You just never know. I love that y'all are making some guesses in the chat. Watching the guesses come in are it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. That was many streams ago, Laura. That was many streams ago. It's been more than a few. More than a few. I would love to do one to Quilt Festival in Houston. That would be fun. Kelly, it was more than a few weeks ago. More than a few weeks ago. When do we find out the details? I'm getting that wrapped up as soon as I can. I've got to look at the paperwork and make sure that everything is the way I want it to be. But we are actively trying to get it done sooner rather than later. So honestly, I would expect it within like the next few weeks. I did talk about it. Y'all are right. Did talk about it. I talked about the location. Auntie L says, come do one in Vegas. I can appreciate that. The sucky part is, you know, I do have to have a 9 to 5, and I actually, you know, kind of do have to do that work. So trying to find the time to do all the things. And next year is going to be incredibly busy with, you know, saving up basically all of my vacation time for Australia. I've got to save every single day of vacation for Australia, which it's worth it. Absolutely worth it. And I will happily do that. But, you know, means no extra time off, unfortunately. And I don't mean extra time off, but like, you know, basically saving all of my vacation days for that one trip. Hello from Australia. It is 3:30 a.m. Why are you still up, Jespoke? Why are you still up, Jespoke? Oh, somebody just did something. Jenna, it looks like Jenna. Thank you so much for subscribing. Jenna will be in the chat, hopefully, here in about 5 minutes. Banana Joe says that she wants to go to Australia to visit her, who was that? My sister and my cousins. Doopy 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 doop boop 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 doopy doopy doop boop boop boop. It always, whenever you're doing diagonal piecing, it always feels so weird putting it together because, you know, it's not how you normally, it's not like normal rows when you're putting it together, right? It always goes together a little differently. You're welcome for that beautiful singing. This is a very spring flavored quilt. It tastes like spring and starch. Auntie L says, I would love to go back to Australia. I would need to make time to visit my family in Melbourne before or after the cruise. Well, that is a possibility. You could work it out that way. We are planning to do a pre-cruise tour of Sydney and then a post-cruise tour of Auckland. I will not be able to attend the Auckland part. I've got to like, I don't have enough vacation time to do both. I can do one or the other, and Sydney's been on my bucket list forever. So unfortunately, I will not be able to do the Auckland portion, but I will be doing the Sydney portion. And we are going to do a tour of the Sydney Opera House. At least that's the hope. I told the guys, I was like, we're doing that. We're doing that. We're making that happen. So, yeah, Sydney Opera House tour, if the guys can get it worked out. Because, you know, theater major and me. So that's going to be my, like, you will be going with me on my tour. Let's see. Auntie L, I'd love to. Oh, I already read that. My bad. I live in Victoria. Very cool. But yeah, we'll be doing pre-cruise tour, shop hop, all the things. All the things. Cannot wait for that one. And I can't wait to see what we're going to be doing for that one too. Like the project. Chris and Becca and I need to meet about what we want to do for that one. Dennis says, hello, Ian and everyone. Happy Resurrection Sunday. Happy Sunday to you. Sweet Granny says, I'm late. Hello, Ian. What are you making? I am working on... So for those who are coming... Ooh, that's the wrong one. Where did I put the pattern? Here it is. I'm doing a version. It's not exactly the same. It is a version of this quilt because I didn't have enough pieces to make the full-size quilt. I used a fat quarter bundle. I'm working on the Diamond Daze. There we go. Diamond Daze. It's a free pattern from Fat Quarter Shop. It is, I'm making it a little bit smaller. So, you know, it just, I'm making it a little bit smaller because I didn't have enough pieces to do the full-sized one. So that free pattern is down in the description box down below. So head there to grab the free download. But I used fat quarters instead of half yards, and so that's why it's a little smaller than what. It'll make a good kid quilt, right? Make a perfect quilt for a niece. Let's see. Is the Opera House tour expensive? Catherine, I don't know any details. I have no, they haven't set anything up yet, so I don't have any details on what the cost is going to be like for that. So we will be finding out together. But I told them I want to do that because that is on my bucket list. That is a must do. Creative Cat says it'll be a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. Laura says she thought about doing this as a baby quilt. That's basically, you know, kid quilt, baby quilt, kind of the same idea. Ooh, I got a whole bunch of threads down there and just looked. All right, I have to look at this again. No, I need this corner. This is the corner that I need. Yeah. This is the one that I need to be lined up, like so. I think this would be a really great baby quilt, young kid quilt, just because it's going to be a little bit of a smaller size, so I cropped it in a little bit. Because I didn't, like I said, I didn't have enough fabrics. I don't have, you know, the full half yards to work with. I only have the fat quarters. But even if you have fat quarters, I have 12 fat quarters. Wait, 4... 8, yeah, 12. I have 12 fat quarters, and I think it's going to be perfect for this one. I think it's going to be perfect for this one. All right. Press this seam. All right, this may be a project that I take with me to retreat to get it finished out. Because next week I am going to take some, or not next week, but the week after, I'm going to take some of the cutoffs that I had left over and use them to make other projects. Okay, corner cuts everywhere. Alrighty, it is 1:43 p.m. Eastern Time. I think I'm going to go ahead and end it here since I don't have time to put another row together before I need to head over to, let's see. Laura says, I think you're right. I can't wait to see it finish. Yeah, I think I'm going to take it with me to retreat and try to finish it because I like when I'm not sitting here chatting, I can get through it a lot quicker. So I'll probably take this with me on retreat and it'll sew up really quickly and we'll be good to go with that. So yeah, I'll take that to retreat and work on that hopefully and have that ready for us the following week. So yeah, I think we're gonna end it here so that way it's 7:43 p.m. here in Italy. Well, yep, that's how time zones work. Yeah, so remember guys, next week Becca and I will not be live streaming because we're going to be on our own personal retreat, recharging our creative sewing batteries, working on all kinds of things. The podcast will come out this week. I need to edit it. That's what I need to do. So I'm going to be working on editing that one. So look on Wednesday for the Sew Off Kilter podcast to come out. And then if I can if I have time to edit the sewing jacket video or working on the jacket video, I will try to get that out before our next, on Sunday. I'll try to get that out on Sunday. So we'll see how that works. Cross your fingers that I can do it. There's a lot to do in between now and then. All right. Hope everybody has a great day. Happy Easter, everyone. And I love each and every one of you. And remember, guys, normal is just the setting on the dryer. I'll see you soon, guys. Bye.